This podcast is recorded in Honolulu, Hawaii. I acknowledge that the land I live and work on, known as Kakako, is part of the unceded Aina of the Kanaka Maoli, the indigenous people of Hawaii. I'm humbled and grateful to be a guest in the Hawaiian Kingdom. Hey, you beautiful humans. Welcome back to Conversations with Thomas, where I explore a nuanced perspective on the issues that touch your heart and mind. And sometimes I do both of those at the same time. I'm your host, Thomas Kevin Dolan. My pronouns are he and him. And today we're diving into a topic that sounds like a gentle hug and a self-help book had a baby: kindfulness. It just might become a new superpower for you. Now, before you roll your eyes and assume I've gone full crystal waving guru, which I know I'm capable of, hear me out. Kindfulness isn't about floating above your feelings in a lavender mist. It's about sitting in the mess with kindness while still wearing your coffee-stained hoodie. Kindfulness is mindfulness with a warm, fuzzy sweater and a cup of tea. It's noticing your experience and being kind to yourself while you do it. Yes, kindfulness, not a typo, not a yoga pose. So grab your tea, your coffee, or your oat milk turmeric latte. No judgment here. And let's get into it. Dr. Shauna Shapiro puts it this way: what you practice grows stronger. So if you practice judgment, that grows. If you practice kindness, that grows. And personally, I've spent enough time strengthening my inner critic. It's time she took a vacation. It's, I see you, Thomas, feeling anxious again. Let's breathe through this. Instead of seriously, still anxious, get it together. And kindfulness isn't just a cute concept. Science backs it up too. I discovered a 2014 study published in Mindfulness, and it found that when mindfulness is combined with self-compassion, people experience significantly lower levels of anxiety and depression. The translation is this: kindfulness helps you stop mentally doom scrolling your own life. And another study from psychological science showed that people who treat themselves kindly during life's stressful moments have lower cortisol levels. So not only does it feel better, it's literally calming your nervous system. Take that, self-flagellation. Let me tell you a quick story. I've shortened it for this podcast. It's from my memoir, Little Fag, a story of self-acceptance and healing, where kindfulness literally helped me survive myself. I call this chapter the middle school mirror incident. I remember being 12, looking in the mirror at my reflection, trying desperately to look more normal, right? More normal, whatever that meant. I didn't see a boy. I saw something wrong. That day, instead of spiraling into shame like I usually did, I heard a tiny voice whisper, "You're okay. You're just figuring it out." It was the first time I met myself with compassion instead of disgust. That whisper saved me more than I knew. Why does kindness matter? Now, I know some of you may be thinking, but Thomas, I need that inner drill sergeant to get stuff done. If I start being kind to myself, I'll just binge Netflix and adopt 12 cats. First of all, Netflix and cats, not the worst way to go. Second, kindfulness doesn't mean complacency. It means treating yourself like someone you care about. Kindfulness creates the emotional safety we need to actually change. Because when we're not constantly dodging emotional punches, we can finally take a deep breath and go, okay, what do I really need right now? Maybe it's rest. Maybe it's accountability. Maybe it's calling your best friend and saying, I'm spiraling. Remind me I'm worthy. Kindfulness lets us respond instead of react. It makes space for the human mess and the magic. I love mess and magic. I've used them both to grow. So let's be real for a moment. Most of us are way nicer to baristas than we are to ourselves. One minor screw up, and it's like your inner voice transforms into Simon Cowell on a bad day. But shame doesn't lead to growth. Kindness does. I discovered another study. This was in 2013 by a couple of folks named Neff and Germer. They revealed that self-compassion training led to significant reductions in anxiety, depression, and stress, and overall improved life satisfaction. Kindfulness, which activates both awareness and compassion, acts as a powerful emotional buffer. Here's a mantra I breathe life into every chance I get. You can't shame yourself, Thomas, into becoming your best self, but you can love yourself, Thomas, there. Kindness lets you show up for yourself the way you'd show up for someone you love, with patience, with humor, with at times an awkwardly long hug if needed. Let me share one more kind of a bridge story from my book, Little Fag. This one I want to call the Pride Parade Breakdown. Years later, I was at my first Pride Parade, rainbowed up, but internally wrecked. Surrounded by joy, I felt nothing but fear and shame. My instinct was to run, to hide. But instead, I sat under a tree. Dramatic, I know. I just breathed. I placed a hand on my heart. You're safe now. That moment was kindfulness in action, offering grace instead of judgment. We tend to think self-compassion is weakness. But let me ask you this. Would you scream at a plant for not blooming? Would you scream at a rose for not blooming fast enough? I'll assert no. You'd water it, give it some sun, maybe whisper encouraging things like, you got this, Rose. Same goes for you. Growth takes care, not cruelty. I'm allowed to be a work in progress and a masterpiece at the same time. All right, time to get out of your head and into your heart with a quick kindfulness practice I call the gentle pause. 4 simple steps. 4 simple steps. So go ahead and get yourself ready just to chill for a little bit, to kind of take yourself out of this learning mode and into a bit of a practice mode with a gift for yourself. So begin the pause. So the invitation is for you to stop what you're doing. Literally, unless of course you're driving. Stop. Go ahead and breathe. I use a technique of breathing by breathing in through my nose and out through my mouth. Go for 3 breaths that way. And then go ahead and place your hand on your heart. Not optional. It's your built-in kindness button, I call it. And there's some science here. This activates your parasympathetic nervous system. That's the rest and chill button in you. And then as you breathe, I want you to see if you can name what you're feeling. I'm feeling tired. I'm feeling overwhelmed. And whatever you're feeling, I want you to kind of take in this distinction. This is a gentle reminder. Remember, you're not your feelings. You only have them. So I'm feeling tired. I'm not tired. I'm feeling overwhelmed. I'm not overwhelmed. Continue to breathe. And then see if you can see if there's an opportunity for you to say one kind thing to yourself. I'm feeling tired. I'm feeling overwhelmed. I'm doing the best I can. It's okay to feel this. I'm still lovable, even when I'm a mess. A gentle kind of boom. You just practice kindfulness. That's it. A moment of kindfulness. Your work is to rinse and repeat as needed. So pause, place your hand on your heart, name what you're feeling, say one kind thing to yourself. So next time your brain's in full chaos mode and your heart feels like a dryer full of shoes, try softening, try kindness. And speaking of your brain, maybe not yours in particular, but MRI studies have shown that kindfulness practices actually increase gray matter. They increase gray matter densities in areas of the brain related to emotional regulation, empathy, and self-awareness. Your brain literally changes to become more resilient and kind. Kindfulness isn't just some fluffy self-help trend. I think it's a radical, quiet revolution. It's how we meet ourselves when no one is watching. It's how we meet ourselves when no one is watching. If this episode sparked something for you, I'd love to hear about it. Send me a message, share with someone who needs a gentle nudge, or leave a review if you're feeling generous. A gentle reminder, these conversations are here to inspire and support, but they're not a replacement for professional care. If you're navigating through some tough mental stuff, please reach out to a licensed therapist or healthcare provider. This podcast is created with a lot of love, lived experience, and just enough research to keep things curious. And it's also created with the tech magic of my wonderful husband, Adam Ma, my co-executive producer. Until next time, take a breath, soften your shoulders, and remember, you're doing better than you think. Thanks so much for listening to Conversations with Thomas.